What's up, pumpers? Jerome here with another TBC tricks video. These are some of my favorite tricks that I've been enjoying since TBC has launched. If you do like the video, make sure to subscribe and I'll keep more content like this coming. First up, we have the best way to level weapon skill in TBC. If you played Classic, you probably remember leveling your weapon skill on the Servants of Grohl. These were NPCs in the Blasted Lands that could only be killed using a quest item, and so that meant that you could basically attack forever and ever and ever and get lots of weapon skill ups, which was great, but eventually you would die and you'd have to run back. It wasn't totally AFK. Took a little more time than necessary, a little more stress than necessary. You might be happy to learn there is a much better way to level weapon skill now, which is in Blackrock Depths, right next to the portal to BRD. There are 3 mobs that used to have a pretty long leash range, so they basically follow you around forever if you aggroed them. They now have been changed to basically just stand there and do nothing, and they never die, they never take damage, and this is actually intended in the game, and they're just standing there, and they're happy to take it for your weapon skill ups all night. Just a really good way to level your weapon skill. It didn't used to be like this in Classic, but now it works, and I've been using it to level all my weapon skills. Next up, we have the alt guild bank tip. If you played a lot of Classic WoW, you didn't have a lot of bank space, a lot of inventory space, you probably use the mailbox as your main bank storage. There's a much better way in TBC with the guild banks coming out. Basically, you can make a guild on an alt, have a couple people sign to make your guild, and now bam, you have a guild bank you can use on your alt. And this will really simplify things. You can have one dedicated storage alt that you mail everything to. You don't have to worry anymore with instant mailing. And also, you have to remember, this will free up a lot of character slots. A lot of people are wanting to run multiple level 70 alts. It's just not as practical now to have 5 or 6 bank alts like we used to. I always was really annoyed when I had to manage all my alts and kind of store everything on different characters and have to mail everything back. This is just a much better way to store and organize all your items. Next up, just a simple tip. This is a nice one for when you're going to be doing your raid progression in SSE and TK and Black Temple. Basically, just take your weapons off when you're about to die in a raid, and you will save a lot of gold on repair costs. Especially helpful when you're going to be spending, 5-6 hours on Lady Vash, and you just keep dying over and over again. Your raid calls a wipe. This is the time when you can use your macro, take off your weapons, save. You'll probably save hundreds of gold over the course of your raid progression, so definitely a nice little tip to save some gold. Next up, we have the best way to travel in TBC. If you go into RFC or Stockades or any dungeon in the game, you probably already know that you could invite yourself on alt and then leave the party and automatically Hearthstone to your Hearthstone location, which in this game would probably be the Aldor or Scryer Inn, so that you quickly have portal access. But what you might not know is that you can actually do this without having a second account or without having to talk to anybody. Basically, all you got to do is find somebody already in a party and just try to invite them to your group. And this will give a couple seconds in the game where it considers you in a party. And you can leave this non-existent party that you're not part of, and it'll trigger the Hearthstone process. The best way to quickly leave would be to have a macro to leave the party. So basically, I just invite myself to a series of random numbers. You could invite yourself to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So /invite 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then quickly click your leave macro to leave the party, and now boom, you're Hearthstoning instantly out of the dungeon after a minute. Really, really, really good tip to travel quickly. Makes it a lot easier. You don't have to have any social anxiety about talking to people. You don't have to have a second character or a second alt account. Just saves a lot of time and effort. Next up, we have a really useful travel tip, and this is also really good for Warson Gulch, Arathi Basin. There's a system in WoW that is used to track your position in game. Similarly, this also is used to determine whether you're indoors or outdoors. So knowing this, and this is a whole concept I want to get into in a future video, much more in depth, you can actually do really interesting things. For example, you can ride into a building, grab the heal buff in Warsong, and then ride directly back out on the same line and not get demounted. So basically, you have to memorize the exact position you want to be going in and out of a building, and you can remain mounted consistently, basically 100% of the time, and a perfect line. And this works with pretty much any building. For example, all the Orgrimmar auction house, you can save time riding in there every single time. And the reverse is also applies as well. So basically, if you want to get out of a building and immediately mount, you may notice sometimes this takes a little bit of a time, there's a delay, because the game hasn't updated your position yet, and the game still thinks you're indoors. So a way to work around that would be to do a really, really simple move, which is just a hard stop or a cut left or right, and this will immediately update your position in the server. Well, this is the best way to do it. You just do a quick little stop or a move to the left or right when you get to the edge of the building, and you'll be able to fly away really quickly. Thanks for watching the new tips video. If you liked the video, make sure to throw the video a like and hit the notification bell as well to be updated whenever there's a new video. I will be making more videos like this, so if you have any tips or ideas you want to throw into the next video, please leave a comment and I'll try to add it to the next video. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.